Morning everybody, back again working on the John Deere 6310. So I'll just give you an update on where we're at with it. So Dad took in this section of the hub here into his work to press out the bearing and the seal. Turned out there was a circlip in behind the bearing, so we couldn't, that's why we couldn't knock it out. So yeah, he got that apart, and the bearing, it wasn't stuffed, but it was like just easier to replace it than have any dramas because we'd been banging on it. So got the bearing from John Deere, and then they stuffed me around with the seal. They reckon they couldn't get one, had to come from America. And then it showed up 3 days later, so I think there might have been a little bit of bullshit there, but anyway, got the seal as well. So it's been about 2 weeks since we pulled it apart, so now we're ready to start putting it back together. And it's also raining, so we'll have to sort of do it in between showers. So we'll start getting this hub back together, put the new seal and bearing in there. And that seal was the seal that was actually leaking, so that'll hopefully solve that problem. And then we'll go about getting everything else ready to go back together, which it pretty much is. We got it all ready to go last time we were working on it, so we should be able to slap it all back together. Alrighty, we've got the new bearing and seal in, so this is already started going back together. Obviously I have to put this axle shaft back in first and then put the hub and everything on over the top of it. Pretty. That's as far as it'll go. Alright, so we've got the axle in, as you can see. So now what we'll do is we'll fill up the swivel hub bearings with grease, and then yeah, we'll put that hub back on.
Down there with the grease nips.
Yep. Alright, so we put grease in the bearing cups there on the axle. So now we're ready to slip the rest of the hub on, and then we'll put those swivel hub bearings in the top and the bottom, and then get that all secure, and then that should be pretty secured, and then we can finish, we'll put all the planetary hub back on and get all that sorted.
This is going to be a pain because we have to sort of... The end of the shaft's got a... There we go.
After 9. We can probably, we'll do it up the rattle gun once.
Alright.
Just eat it. Alright, as I just saying, we just put the swivel hub back together. We got all the top and bottom bearings in. They're all nice and tight. We had a bit of trouble getting the axle into the housing here. I didn't film it, but yeah, basically there was a part of the seal left on the axle shaft, and I didn't know if it was the part of the seal or if it was actually a protective part to protect the seal. But it turns out it was a part of the old seal, just painted green, so it sort of made it a bit confusing. And the new seal didn't come with it, so I think it's just a thing John Deere have done now. They've updated that seal and haven't put that steel protective ring on, so dirt and crap can get into the back of that seal now, which is a bit of a shame. Just means they're obviously trying to scab a bit of money off hard-working farmers so that they can make a quid by changing bloody hub seals all the time. So it'd be a bit hard to see in there, but in there's the new seal, and there was a steel ring that protected it and stopped dirt from getting in there or from punching that seal. If you got that ring, yeah, this was the ring that was on it, and that would have protected stuff from getting in that seal, and they don't make it with it anymore, which is a shame. So here's what it is. So now we've done that, we'll start reinstalling the planetary hub and get that all sealed up and secured, and then we'll worry about those ball joints on the steering pistons. Alright, so we're rebuilding this hub now. So we've got the inner bearing in because these are oil fed. We'll just give them a bit of oil before we put it back together, just so it's not dry when it goes in. And we'll tap this new seal in as well. Alright, so we've got the bearing on the start here of the stub axle. That's just going to slip the hub over the top. You gotta push down to the bottom. That's alright. Alright, so that's on there now. We'll replace the O-ring around there, and we'll oil up the other bearing and slip that in, and then we'll assemble the planetary stuff. Alright, so we've got this, the outer, the sun gear on for this hub. We just Loctited those nuts, the bolts. I'm not sure what the tension is. It does put load on the bearing, so we're just going to do them up tight, but not over tight, and hope for the best. You got a line. No, hang on, you got a line. Oh yeah, they're lined up. Alright, so I've got this hub back together. Dad's just whacking the mount that holds what would be a mud guard on there. We're not going to get another mud guard for this side, and we're going to take the other side off. I know they look pretty stupid, and they get in the way. Also, if you want to like do any work on the engine. So we're going to put that back on there just to fill in the bolt holes and, I don't know, a bit of protection maybe. See what happens. Once we've done that, we're going to replace those ball joints. So we'll do this side first, do the other side. Yeah, we'll whack the wheel on and sort out some oil, put in that hub. And then, yeah, she'll be all ready to go. So we'll do that up, and then we'll do the ball joint, and then get the wheel on. Alright, so what we're doing now is we're going to replace this ball joint on the steering rod here that goes to the tie rod. So what we need to do is just undo it off this piston, and we've got a new one that we'll screw on, and I took a measurement of how far this has to be screwed in. It's about 12 centimetres. Yeah, so we'll undo this one and get the new one on. Alright, we just finished getting this ball joint on there. I couldn't seem to get the measurement how I wanted it. So we're going to chuck the wheel on and we'll have a look at what it looks like. If it looks a bit funny, we'll try and sort it out. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. So we'll chuck this wheel on now. Alrighty, we finished up. We did that other ball joint on the other side, so they've both been done now. That's all finished up. Just took for a little spin around the yard just to get the oil flowing. We'll let it settle down and let all that oil level out, and I'm going to come back out, not tomorrow, probably on Monday, and I will check the oils, just make sure they're at the right level, and then that should be right, and we should be ready to go and just get back out there and start doing some more work. So it was a bit of a long-winded video, this one, just because of the stuffing around. But yeah, she's all done now, and hopefully we'll get 20 years out of that seal without having to replace it. See how we go though. So thanks everybody for watching. See you in the next one.